During a live segment on a popular late-night talk show, the host cracked a joke about Melania Trump that he thought would earn quick laughs from the crowd. With a smug grin, he mocked her accent and implied she had little influence or intelligence, clearly expecting the audience to erupt in laughter. But the joke didn't land as he'd hoped. Instead, an uncomfortable silence spread through the studio. Viewers at home immediately took to social media, condemning the host for what they saw as a cheap, xenophobic shot at the former First Lady. Moments later, even members of the live audience began booing softly, prompting the host to awkwardly stumble into a commercial break. By the next morning, clips of the moment had gone viral, with bipartisan outrage flooding the internet. Prominent women's groups and immigrant advocacy organizations released statements condemning the remarks, calling them disrespectful and tone-deaf. In a surprising twist, Melania Trump responded with a calm but cutting tweet, reminding the host that kindness and dignity speak louder than mockery. The backlash was so intense that the host issued a formal apology on air the following night, admitting that he got it wrong. What was meant to be a throwaway joke had turned into a powerful reminder that some lines, once crossed, come at a heavy cost. Behind the scenes, producers scrambled to contain the fallout. Advertisers began pulling their sponsorships, citing public pressure and a refusal to be associated with what many now called one of the ugliest moments in late-night television. Networks debated suspending the host, while insiders leaked reports that even some of the show's writers had objected to the joke during rehearsal, but were overruled. Meanwhile, Melania Trump's poised response continued to gain traction. Major news outlets praised her restraint and dignity, contrasting her demeanor with the host's flippant cruelty. Even some of her longtime critics acknowledged that the moment revealed a different side of her, one that resonated with people tired of divisive, mean-spirited entertainment. Hashtags like #RespectMelania and #StandWithGrace trended globally, with millions of posts defending her character and calling for more civility in political discourse. The host, once celebrated for his biting wit, found himself under intense scrutiny. His past jokes were re-examined, and a pattern of targeting women, especially immigrants and political spouses, emerged. Former guests refused to return. A-list celebrities distanced themselves. Eventually, the network announced the show would go on a temporary hiatus, citing the need for reflection and internal review. In a final twist, Melania was invited to appear on multiple news platforms to address the incident. She declined most offers, but appeared briefly in a televised interview where she simply said, "Words matter. We must all be more careful how we use them, especially in front of millions." Her quiet grace in the face of ridicule only deepened public respect. The host returned weeks later, notably humbled. His opening monologue didn't include a single joke. Instead, he addressed the controversy head-on, saying, "I thought I was being funny. I was wrong. And I've learned that punching down is never comedy. It's just cruelty." That night, the show marked a turning point, not just for him but for the entire genre of political entertainment. And it all began with one misjudged jab at Melania Trump, and a nation that wasn't having it. As the dust settled, the media world took note. The fallout from the joke sparked a deeper conversation about how public figures, especially women, are treated in political satire. Cable news panels, editorials, and think pieces explored the broader implications. Was comedy becoming too mean-spirited? Were certain lines, especially those rooted in identity, no longer acceptable under the guise of humor? Amid this cultural reckoning, Melania Trump's popularity surged in unexpected circles. Once a figure often scrutinized in silence, she was now seen as a symbol of composed resilience. In a rare public appearance at a women's leadership summit weeks later, she delivered a short but powerful speech on the strength of grace under fire, emphasizing dignity, restraint, and the responsibility of public voices. Her standing ovation lasted nearly 2 full minutes. Meanwhile, the talk show struggled to recover. Though the host remained on air, the ratings never fully rebounded. Viewers, once loyal, had moved on, many citing a loss of trust. Competing programs began to rise in popularity, especially those that embraced more thoughtful, inclusive humor. The incident became a case study in media ethics, taught in journalism and communications courses across the country. Privately, insiders claimed the host underwent personal reflection. He began working more closely with diverse writers, seeking feedback on his material before it aired. Over time he made subtle shifts, less mockery, more clever insight. Though the scars of the Melania controversy lingered, they served as a turning point in his career, prompting a quieter, more mature version of his public persona. As for Melania, she returned to private life, declining further interviews and attention. But for many, her calm response had already left a lasting mark. In a polarized world filled with outrage and noise, she had chosen something rare: silence, grace, and the kind of strength that doesn't shout but echoes. And in the end, that echo was louder than any joke.